Hi, everyone. Welcome to Herren Project Live. I am your host, Kevin Michaelazic. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a great show lined up for you this evening. We have an amazing supporter in Marc Spivack and his whole family, who's put on a golf tournament for the last 3 years and has raised almost $80,000 for the work of Herren Project. So we are grateful to have him. We also have 2 board members tonight. We have Erin Chace and we also have Liz Mullin. Couple Herren Project related announcements. Currently, right now, we have 18 family support groups and they vary in topics. We have family support group. We have adolescent support groups if you're a parent of an adolescent. We do also have a grief support group for those who have lost someone for a substance use passing. And we also have a couple of other different topics, I believe spousal support group, but currently we have 18. They all meet online via Zoom. They are psycho ed, and there's also a mutual support component, and they are offered free of charge thanks to the generosity of all our donors. And that is one area where we have really expanded through COVID. The need is even greater, and your support and your generosity has allowed us to expand that program. So we have 18 per week, so you can find those on our website, herrenproject.org. Also, if you haven't had the opportunity to check out the Purple Couch, Izzy B, our youth engagement specialist, has done a tremendous job with that. It is live. It is on our YouTube channel, and it is packed full of information and fun ideas. It is aimed toward our youth. So if you haven't had a chance, go to our YouTube channel and check out the Purple Couch with host Izzy B and her co-host Eric Daddario. Excuse me. That does it for announcements. We are going to bring in our first guest, Marc Spivack.
Hey, Kevin. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
I feel like I'm behind the second on the camera.
Yeah, actually, a little bit.
It must be my internet. But you're perfect. I don't get it.
I just reset my internet. Maybe that's why.
So thank you so much for coming on tonight. And you're looking very handsome with the beard. So
thank you. My wife's watching, so please tell her again.
Very handsome with the beard, the COVID beard. And your Yankees just tied it up. So,
well, since we spoke, they're now down by 3, unfortunately, but a lot of game left.
That was pretty cool. I mean, that was like
a minute ago.
So tell us about Rob and the golf tournament and how it came to be. And I know it started, for something because something tragic happened, but you have really turned it into something special that's been able to benefit so many. So tell us about it.
Yeah. So the golf outing is in memory of my brother-in-law, Rob Keener. Rob is the husband of my sister, and he unfortunately passed away after a battle with addiction back in March of 2017. So just over 3.5 years ago. And, I'm seeing someone commenting on the Rays hitting a bomb. Rob was an amazing guy. He was everybody's friend. He was a fun-loving guy. He was an athlete. He played baseball in high school. And he was just an amazing human being and an amazing father. But as too often we're seeing happens, there was something underlying, and he had an addiction problem. And we lost him to the disease. And like you said, we want to turn something tragic into something really good and really helpful, hopefully. And I did some research on a few addiction and substance abuse charities, and thought you guys were just great. Everything I read was piqued my interest about you guys. And Chris, being a former basketball player, was great because Rob was a huge basketball fan. He actually was buried in his USA basketball jersey that he loved. So I created a golf outing. The first year I started out with the help of Rob's best friend, Frank Bucci, and we just really wanted to get everybody together to have a day to remember Rob and to, laugh about the good times and just honor his life. And, raising money is an added bonus. The number one goal is to remember Rob. And then a close second is helping others. And like you said, we've had an amazing support and turnout from our support network. Despite not being able to have the fourth outing this year due to COVID, we've already raised over $10,000 this year and counting. And we're very close to crossing the 80,000 mark over 4 years. So, that's a testament to Rob, really, because the support that we get from friends and family is because of how much they love and miss Rob, and how supportive these people are of our family, both the Keener, Spivack, and his sister, the Barstows. So we're very lucky to have the network we have.
Yeah, you've done an amazing job with the tournament. I was actually lucky enough to play in it last year, and it's an amazing day, and it's a privilege to be part of it, where you kind of see the families come together, and it's something tragic, like I said, but you guys have really, really turned it into something special that really honors Rob and his life. So, on behalf of everyone at Herren Project and all our supporters, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you guys as well, because the work that you guys do makes it possible to help others. And that's the goal of every penny that we raise and donate, is to help others, so that hopefully other people don't have to have the pain that we have, and people can get help. But, speaking of the outing, like you just said, I didn't mention what exactly goes on with the outing. So as you know from last year, we have a lunch followed by a golf tournament. We have around 60 golfers, 50 to 60 golfers each of the first 3 years. And after that, we come back. This is held in the Bronx, which is a central location for our group at Pelham Bay Split Rock. And we have a dinner event after the golf outing. And at the dinner event, we have a casino, we have an auction, we have casino prizes. In the past, we've had a silent auction where we have a company come with different pieces of memorabilia or art, and we're able to raise money that way. And it's a buffet dinner. And like I said, just a really great time to get everyone together. And we all think of Rob every day. We all remember Rob every day, but it's a time for all of us to do it together.
I won a $250 gift certificate. I was psyched.
Nice.
And
hopefully you can redeem it somewhere.
It was one of those like combo ones, but one of the things on it was Panera Bread, and that was like my daughter's favorite spot. So
awesome. So you could use it even though it wasn't in New York. That's great. That's great.
So just out of curiosity, so you said he was buried in the USA basketball jersey. Who was on the back?
It's funny. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know if my sister who's watching knows. You can shoot a message in the chat, but I'm not sure. If I had to guess, it might be Jordan, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't remember.
Because one of our other guests is actually the wife of a Dream Team member. Chris
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was a Dream Team jersey. So
that's why it was Jordan. Stacey just put it in there.
It was? Oh, nice.
Yeah. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this year too, and you guys haven't, you couldn't hold the physical event, but you guys have raised over $10,000, and I think that speaks volumes to your supporters. It's
absolutely
pretty spectacular, especially in these difficult and trying times to, still be able to, raise funds, and the amount of people we've been able to help with those funds is awesome.
That's great to hear. That makes me really happy. Yeah. We have like I said, the support network's amazing. And quite frankly, we couldn't do it without them. So to anyone that's watching right now, that's part of our network, thank you so much. And anyone that's not watching, same goes to them. It's a huge, big thank you from our families.
And the Yankees, I got to give you a little bit of ribbing on the Yankees. I know it's a good year for you guys. The Red Sox were terrible this year. I think they were beyond terrible. They were awful.
Yeah, well, it's a shortened year. You guys will be back. You guys always are. It's a good rivalry.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys so much, your whole family, everyone involved. It really is a special relationship, and we are truly grateful the support and your trust in us. And I look forward to being able to go out there next year and playing it again. It was a really special time for me. So thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing and continue to do.
Absolutely. And I hope we're able to have it next year, and you're welcome every single year. So hope to see you as many times as possible.
Awesome. You're the best. Thank you so much. Good luck, Yankees. I said it.
Thank you, Kevin. And thank you to your whole team as well, especially Bonnie and Lori, who are just amazing. Bonnie Sawyer and Lori Spanner. They're great. They're great help with everything. I'm constantly reaching out to them. So thank you to you guys and the rest of the team.
And keep the beard. You look very handsome.
Thank you very much.
Plug for the wife.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, brother. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Be well.
Take care. All right. Next up, we have two amazing board members who have been unbelievable advocates for Herren Project. And I am personally grateful for their support, their trust, and their dedication. So we have Erin Chace, and we also have Liz Mullin. Hi, Erin.
Hi,
Liz.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Liz, you're on mute. We're going to unmute you.
Oh, okay. That's kind of you.
We want to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
I know this is one of your favorite things to do ever.
Sure. But first of all, I mean, that's a great story about Marc and his family and the legacy they created for his brother-in-law. I mean, that's really touching. And that's really what it's all about. So,
I was getting goosebumps thinking of when he mentioned it, because I was like, oh, man, there's no coincidence there.
no, and their family is really helping so many other families. So kudos to Marc and his family.
And you are no stranger to helping people. You know, you got Chris started on his journey, and here we are today, 10 years later with the Herren Project. And you talk about, you've seen it from the beginning, what it's, what it means to you and how it's been, it's the word I'm looking for. Special to be a part of and watch it grow.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he came to our doorstep in Indiana when he was still at Fresno State for my husband, Chris, to kind of mentor him and, get ready for the draft, as well as, talk about sobriety and try to keep clean. He was really young. He had so much energy. And so he stayed with us for a while in Indiana until he had to go back home for the birth of Christopher. And so after that, I mean, he would always keep in touch over the years. Always, we get an annual phone call from him or something until basically he started going overseas, and then we lost touch with him. But then when, he had his overdose, and which really propelled him into treatment. So the blessing of it. And, we got him some help, and, the journey began. I mean, it's amazing, story what Chris has done with his recovery.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Erin, you've been on the board, I believe, almost 5 years. Can you talk a little bit about, why you wanted to get involved, and, maybe talk a little bit about how you've seen Herren Project grow over the years?
Yeah, so I wanted to also thank Marc and all that he's done to support the Herren Project. It's encouraging, it inspires others, and that kind of support is a wonderful thing. So you asked me a question. I was first introduced to Chris when he spoke at my son's school. He actually spoke at two of my guys' school. And after hearing him speak at one of my boys' schools, I was totally enamored by what he spoke about in the kids and the courage that some of them came up to him after and asked, listen, I don't want to do any more drugs. And I thought to myself, here I am sitting in an auditorium filled with children, one of which was my son. And I thought, you know what, I just have to make a difference. So my idea of getting on the board was to break the stigma of addiction. There's no reason why we have to walk around with thinking that an addict is someone with, baggy clothes on and a paper bag. It's not the way it is. We had these young kids jumping in front of trains. It's like crazy. So my heart went out to the kids in the auditorium and the kids that Chris spoke about. And really, I just wanted to make a difference, not only personally from my family, because addiction has hit my family, but for all others around. And I have to say, as a board member, in the last couple of years, I've made a difference. And that's only because we at the Herren Project, the team, you guys, day to day, you're phenomenal. I can't say any more. And you and I joke about having you on speed dial, but having the Herren Project on speed dial, it's no joke. It's really no joke. When someone looks at me and says, wow, you're going to help my family, that's huge. It's huge.
It is.
It's huge.
So, Liz, can you talk about, you've been on the board for, I think, a little over a year, maybe almost 2 years now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Can you just talk about, that experience, and you've really seen us grow over the years too. You've been on the board for a couple of years, but you've been part of the story for a long time. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, this was, of course, one of Chris's dreams was to create a foundation where people could get help, because it's just not covered. You might get 30 days in treatment, which it's just not enough. So he just really wanted to give back. And it's so nice that, I think it's gone beyond his imagination, between, his own place of Jacob Hill and now moving to Virginia, but also, even within that, able to have this foundation that can offer so much for families that are struggling and people who are struggling as well. So joining the board is just, for me, continue watching this great, journey of Chris's, and just kind of enjoying the ride with him.
Yeah, it's pretty special when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
A little over 12 years ago, he was overdosed, near death,
Mm-hmm.
Just had crashed his car into a cemetery fence. And, here we are, 12 plus years later, and, thousands and thousands of individuals, students, and families have been touched by this. And I don't think anyone could have predicted this course.
No, and he's offered so many great educational tools, through his documentary and just, being out there speaking. It's just, it's great. Yeah. And the foundation is just a great way to support that.
It really is. Erin, you wanted to talk about, I know you have big plans for an endowment fund. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I do. So as a board member and sitting here on the board for, close to 5 years, and watching us grow, I don't want us to ever be unsustained. So for the last couple of years, with the annual fund coming out and, us being able to show what we've really done, my dream is to start an endowment. And the dream would be to have like a $10 million endowment. Though I'm going to start with a $1 million endowment and then grow to a 10 million plus endowment. I never want to see the Herren Project ever leave. My dream is for this to always be sustained. because to support, inspire, empower, our mission is just that. You know, some way, shape, or form, we're probably always going to be affected by substance. I don't like to say that, but you know, I think alcohol and cigarettes and drugs may just never disappear. So the idea to have an endowment and to be able to support people and to provide the resources and the guidance, I never want to see it go away. And really, you guys on a day-to-day basis, we talk about this at board meetings, and I know Liz, we've been involved. You guys are phenomenal. Can't say enough good things about you. I mean, honestly, the hard work that you guys do, the Herren Project staff members, and what you do for those calling in for recovery, we can't lose this.
And I'm a lucky guy because really Herren Project is run by women. I think we just hired 2 more women, so I think we're up to like 18 women and me. Actually, we have Paul, but Paul, he doesn't offset that enough. So we have a lot of strong women, and I love it.
You know, the other thing that I also like about the endowment is it allows us not only sustainability, but you know, our mission is support, inspire, and empower. And the only way we can do that is with money to continue that support. And sometimes money comes in the form of an endowment. An endowment is necessary, totally necessary at this point. We have grown from a grassroots nonprofit organization into this amazing, huge organization that you have someone like Marc speaking about having a golf tournament and raising over $70,000. Like, that's phenomenal. And because it's from our heart, you know, we're doing it for people that are loved ones. We don't want to see anything, God forbid, happen to our loved ones. And with the help of the Herren Project, we'll be able to, you know, live with our loved ones a lot longer than we ever thought.
Well, I want to thank you 2 ladies. I know this was probably not on the top of your list of things to do.
It's silly.
It was. Of course it was.
We'll keep our private conversations private.
Mm-hmm.
But we couldn't have grown this much without you ladies, and I am thankful for you guys and your service to our organization. And I look forward to the next 10 years. I think it's going to be spectacular. We're poised for growth. We've gone through a lot of change, and we are ready to grow this thing. So I know with the support of both of you, we'll get there.
Well, a big shout out to Bonnie.
Big shout out.
I mean, she's been there from day one.
My work wife.
She's a super, super
Don't
woman
give
and
her
worker.
credit. You want to raise or something.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, thank you both very much. As promised, I get you off by 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Bye, Erin.
Good night.
Thank you, Herren Project.
All right. Thank you all for that. I want to thank Liz, Marc, and Erin for their service and their dedication to our organization and the people that we serve. And I do feel unbelievably proud of this organization and how much we've grown and adapted. And, you know, we really are poised for growth. We have an amazing staff, and 2021 is going to be our biggest and best year ever. And together we will get there, and we will support, inspire, and empower families, students, and individuals all across this country. So thank you. Be well, stay safe. God bless.